Now from one of our Cuyahoga County Scam Squad partners, be really careful now if you are buying cars or trucks online. Scammers have been posing as legitimate local businesses and they're ripping people off. Investigator Gabby Hart live in the newsroom for us right now with what you need to watch out for. Gabby.
Well, Brian, you know, these online car scams really took off during the pandemic, and that's because people were hesitant to meet in person. But buckle up, because the Better Business Bureau is saying that things are actually getting worse, and they are seeing a dramatic jump in scam reports from consumers. Now, scammers are creating fake websites and posting fake listings on real online marketplaces like Facebook, for example, and then pretending to sell everything from cars and trucks to tractors and boats, even construction equipment. And listen to this. The BBB says that they are really seeing an increase in these scams targeting high-end classic car buyers. Now, these fake listings often feature real vehicle identification numbers and pictures that have been ripped off from legitimate sellers, like the photos you see on this fake website that claims to be Heinrich Vintage Cars, which is a real business in Columbia Station. But the thing is, they don't even sell cars. Now, the BBB thinks that these scammers behind this fake site are the same crooks who were impersonating Amherst Classic Cars last summer. Now, the real Amherst Classic Cars wasn't even in business for years before that. Now, if you are planning to shop for a vehicle online, here is some advice. Only deal with people locally and in person. Only buy vehicles from sellers who are willing to meet face-to-face. Beware of out-of-state car purchases and any seller who is not willing to meet you in person. And remember that you should never wire money or send a gift card as a payment for any online transaction. If you can, always pay with a credit card, because consumers can dispute charges with their company in case something falls through. Also, do not purchase any vehicles that you have not seen. Get a physical inspection. Don't rely solely on vehicle history reports, because a fake VIN could have been used. And on top of fake vehicle ads, you also need to watch out for fake vehicle history websites that claim to operate like Carfax. The BBB says the number of people falling victim to those is also on the rise. Now go ahead and check out the Scam Squad section on the 19 News mobile app for any details on how to report a scam, along with tips on how you can protect your money. Brian?